Hi, Alan Kozlowski back in the kitchen once again. Today in this video series we're going to be talking about making guamki, or cabbage rolls as a lot of people call them here in the States. Recipe passed down from my grandmother, actually both of my grandmothers, of which I modified a little bit, and I think it might even be a little bit better. So to begin with, we're going to start with the filling. We're going to start with a 3-to-1 ratio of ground pork to 1 part ground chuck. Now, actually this might be ground round because there's so much fat in the pork, I don't really need a lot more fat. So you can use all ground pork if you want, you can use all ground beef if you want to. I would not use all ground sirloin, that just doesn't have enough fat content. So we'll put that in a large bowl, again 3-to-1 ratio, and then to that we're going to add 1 medium onion. Medium onion is about that size, a little bit bigger than a baseball generally. You can use how much ever onion you want, and the same goes with any of these ingredients. You know, you can play around with it and come up with your own taste, but I'm just going to show you how I like to do it. Next thing we're going to add is about a half cup of breadcrumbs and a couple of cloves, 2 to 3 cloves of minced garlic, about 2 tablespoons of salt. That's going to seem like a lot, but when you've got 4.5–5 pounds of meat that's unseasoned, it really does need some seasoning. So the next thing we're going to add is about a tablespoon of pepper. This is coarse ground black pepper. You can use smoked pepper, you can use less or more, whatever you choose. About a half a cup of rice, uncooked. It can be any kind of rice that you'd like, long grain, jasmine, whatever. 1 egg, about a quarter cup of water, and you don't have to add this, but I usually add about a quarter teaspoon of cayenne pepper, just to give it a little zest. Because if you don't, it'll be good, but it gives it that little bit of zing. Not hot, but just you know it's you've been eating something when you're done. So now that goes in here, and here's where you want to have clean hands, because I know that this looks like it'd be difficult to mix, but if you use your hands, you just want to just get in there and mix it up like you would with a mixer, but you can be more controlled with it. Again, clean hands is key here. Just got to get your thumbs in there. You might make a little bit of a mess. I always kind of get to the bottom and turn it over. That onion likes to get to the bottom a lot of times. And you don't want to overmix it to where it's mush. You don't want your cabbage rolls or your guamki, when you cut into it, just be real mushy or inside. You want to be able to see like the different variations or the breaks in the meat. So just mix it pretty good with, again, without mushing it up. I like to call it like folding. You just kind of twist and fold, and until it's evenly distributed. You just want all the onion and rice and make sure the egg and the breadcrumbs, everything's evenly distributed, kind of like you would with meatballs or meatloaf. Doesn't take too long. Probably want to mix it for a few minutes, and that's pretty good. And then once I'm done mixing it, I'll put it in the refrigerator while I'm getting my cabbage ready, and let the flavors kind of come together a little bit. You'll know when it's about time to stop mixing it, because it'll start to get pretty sticky. Once it starts getting sticky, you know you've kind of hit that point where it's time to stop. So it's pretty good right there. This is pretty. The ground pork was ground in a very coarse grind, so you might be able to mix this one a little bit more. So there's your meat base, and in part 2 we're going to show you how to core the cabbage and how to get that started so we can start wrapping the meat.